So we are recording now. So yeah, I was asking you, right? You're a web guy. You work in digital marketing. You analyze a lot of websites. You worked on e-commerce websites. What for you personally, right? When you land with all that background, when you land on an e-commerce website, like what are the sort of first things you look for? Like what do you look for? Stuff that you feel maybe like regular shoppers wouldn't look for?
Well, I mean, I don't know if regular shoppers do or don't look for these things, but first thing that I immediately look for is SSL. I won't
Right.
touch the website unless it's got SSL.
Right. So that's interesting. So what are you, obviously it's not, SSL isn't actually an easy thing to implement for a site that is currently non-SSL, right? At least doing it well and redirecting everything properly and all that kind of stuff, right? But like, would you advise, at the end of the day, you'd probably advise that a e-commerce website should be complete SSL, right? Every single page,
Yeah.
SSL.
Yeah, I mean, I would for sure say that, because at the end of the day, if a user comes on the site and it's not SSL from the beginning, they may assume that the checkout process isn't going to be SSL and not even waste their time with adding products to the cart and during the checkout process to just find that it's not secure. So
Right.
I would say secure it from the get-go, and you'll eliminate all those problems. And people
Right.
will be a lot more comfortable browsing the site, giving information, even if it's for a newsletter or, signing up for an account. They'll be a lot more, comfortable giving that information.
Okay, okay, this is cool. That's good stuff. And you know what? I think, let's imagine for this conversation, actually, we are talking about you've landed on an e-commerce website that someone's recommended to you. You've never been there before. So it's not like it's not Amazon, right?
Right.
Like a really well-known online shopping store. It's not Zappos. It's not ASOS, right? ASOS, right? And yeah, those sites are on a niche e-commerce side that looks good, or maybe it looks good. I guess that's the next thing, right? Is what does any design elements come into play when you hit like an e-commerce website?
Well, it depends. It depends what I'm looking for. I mean, generally, I think if the site looks like the last time it was updated was '96, then my experience isn't going to be very good, and I'm not gonna think that they might not even think they have stuff in stock, or if they're still even functioning as a company. If the site looks old and feels old, and feels like it wasn't updated in a long time, just from a visual perspective. From a design and usability perspective, I always look for things that just makes it easy to navigate, find the products or categories that you want to find, in the quickest time possible.
So out of interest, what do you think of like search functionality on a website, search functionality in an e-commerce store? Like, me personally, I feel like it needs to be really obvious, right? Like, I use search on Amazon all the time, right? Rather than navigating through Amazon to get to where I want to be. Maybe it's because it's so vast that it's that much simpler.
Well, yeah, it's a huge website. If you've got a website that big, most people, I would assume, are gonna use the search feature unless they're just window shopping. And even then, even if they are window shopping, they'll probably be window shopping for something specific, at least in a specific category, whether it's technology or whether it's clothing. They come with some mindset of what they're looking for. So I think search for e-commerce is extremely important. Obviously,
those smaller niche sites use search well enough, because I find that a lot of the time when I go to smaller niche websites, e-commerce stores, either search is like really hidden away, not used so much, and I don't find myself using it as much. And I guess that's something interesting for me to explore, because Amazon, boom, I jump in, I search for what I'm looking for, right?
Right.
maybe that is, like you said, part of the mentality. I choose to go to Amazon because I know I'm looking for something specific, really specific products.
Right.
Quite often with an actual full product name or something like that. But with these smaller stores, I'll often find myself working my way through the navigation. I guess I'm just trying to come to a conclusion of whether that's because search isn't prominent enough on those websites, or whether it's because it's a smaller niche website that I don't know, I feel a bit more comfortable navigating through their sections to sort of get a feel for what they're about.
Yeah, I think it depends on the size of the site. If it's a smaller niche site that's only selling, you know, one type of product, then I would probably be more likely to browse around, see what they have, see the different products that they have, because they've only got one set of products. Whereas, like we said before, Amazon has everything. So you first search what you're looking for, and then you'll probably browse around the products within your search. So essentially, you're doing the same thing on Amazon, but your the first thing you do on Amazon is to do the search to get to the specific niche that you want to get to, and then just navigate that way.
Right.
So on a niche site, you eliminate that search because you don't need to, because it's smaller to begin with.
Right. So I guess that's quite interesting as well, right? So we're talking about the difference between maybe a site like Bellroy, which pretty much only sells wallets and different types of wallets, right? So there's a really good chance you wouldn't search for a specific type of wallet on Bellroy. You would navigate around and search.
Yeah, all they do is wallets. So you just see which wallets they have and which one you like for, you know, your own personal needs, or what fits your personal needs, and make a decision.
But let's go a step further, right? Let's go for like a smaller site that sells more than, say, Bellroy, but a lot less than Amazon, right?
Right.
So, like, I don't know, maybe so me and you are both talking about the same thing. I know, like, an e-commerce store from Meerkat is the guys from The Funky Fairy, thefunkyfairy.co.uk, right?
Yeah.
So they sell, they have quite a lot of different products, right? You can scroll over their navigation menu, and they have a lot of products. Do you think, like, they've got a search bar at the very top?
Yeah.
Would you search on a site like this? So you know you're after a kid's gift. You might do, right?
Yeah, I might use the search here, depending on the reason I came to the site. If I came to the site knowing, all right, I wanted children's accessories, or a better example, a bag, then, you know, I can see that on the homepage right away. I've got bags, so I'll go straight there that way. But if I didn't see bags on the homepage, then yeah, I'll probably search for bags.
Right. And you know what, that is interesting, because I guess on one hand you might have a company like that who, if I do a search for something and I don't find it, I feel, and I get like one of those blank results pages, it's just irrelevant of, like, they can't do about it if they don't sell what I'm looking for, right?
Right.
But I can still feel a bit, not pissed off, but like, just like, it's just not the greatest user experience for the user. You're like, oh, I came here, they don't have what I'm looking for, so I'm off, kind of thing, right? So in some ways, I guess for those small, like when you go to Amazon, you're pretty much going to find what you're looking for when you search for something.
More than likely. A lot of the time, I'd go to Amazon for price comparison as well. Like,
right. That's something different, right? But like, you'll generally find what you're looking for in a search from out on Amazon. Yeah. Or at least they do a really good job of showing you like similar products and related products.
At least close to what I'm looking for, yeah.
But like on these smaller sites, say like the Funky Fairy, there's a good chance you could type something in there and not get any results. And I guess if that happens, you're going to leave and go and look somewhere else.
There is a good chance, yeah. If the search isn't good, you know, like we said at the beginning, the search has to be good. If it's not good, it shouldn't even be there. You know.
No, but what I mean is like, let's say they've got good search functionality, but it actually can't supply a result close to what I'm looking for, right? because they just don't sell those
If
things.
you don't sell it, then fine. Then
what I mean is, I guess what I'm saying is it could be better for those kind of sites to sort of not really push the search functionality too much.
Yeah, it's possible.
Right?
Yeah, you might not want to push it, but I would still say they should have it implemented.
Because I'm on the Funky Ferry. I'm looking for like a kid's gift. There's a chance if I have to navigate my way through to find that you haven't got what I want, but I will see something else that might attract my attention.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. So I guess like after talking this through with you, there is a lot of sense to saying search shouldn't be a big deal for the sort of smaller websites.
If they can implement it well, then it should be done. If I was to type, into the Funky Ferry and I didn't find, and it had 0 results, I would expect to see something that said, but we have these that were closely related to your results. So check these out, kind of thing, and it will try and cross-sell me, something that it thinks is similar to what I was looking for.
Right.
So I typed in, black bag, and it came up with 0 results. I would expect to see other types of bags. I want
cool.
Nothing.
So let's move on from the search stuff, right? So we've spoken about search, we've spoken about SSL, we've spoken about having a decent enough design. What is there anything else that you look for before you go deeper into a site? Is there anything else that that you specifically, if you're on one of these sites, someone's recommended you, or you've just done a Google search and found a link and landed on an e-commerce site that you don't know them, you've never seen them before. Is there anything, are you the sort of person that will go and read up a bit about them, or is that completely unimportant to you? Like what?
Well, if someone's recommended it to me,
the product's irrelevant.
And I trust them, I would probably, trust their recommendation. And
let's say Google search.
If it was a Google search, then, I'd probably do a little bit more, obviously, like SSL, design. I would also probably look at delivery, but it's not always depending on your location. But for me, at least, delivery is quite important because a lot of websites don't deliver.
The Funky Ferry have right at the very top, free UK delivery on all orders over £50, right? That's good, right? Having showing me your delivery options, especially if they've got good benefits to them, straight away, right? Site wide.
Yeah. And it's quite nice that that's clickable and it takes you to a page which clearly tells you about delivery to other countries, as not just the UK, right. which is good.
All right, that's cool. Let's have a look at Bellroy for a second. Bellroy, they're taking things to another level. Like top left, straight away, it says we ship to Israel. It's got a little flag.
Right. So it protects your country, which is quite cool.
But you can't actually click in there and see any delivery options.
Right. Yeah. But if they ship to my location, I know they ship to my location, and I like what they have. Delivery is secondary. It could be that they don't charge. It could be that they charge. But the Bellroy, it's a high-end product. So if you're coming to buy a Bellroy, then you probably don't really care too much about shipping.
Right, unless you just landed there from a organic search,
right.
Leather one.
Yeah.
Something like that, right?
Yeah. But, I mean, right off the bat, you can see that it's a high-end, high-quality product.
Yeah, well, at least the design gives you that vibe, right?
Absolutely. I don't notice that both of these websites on SSL off the bat.
Right. Yeah. You're 100% right, they aren't. And that could be a big part of what I was saying to you in that I wonder if today, if Bellroy built their site right now, whether they would make the whole site SSL. I think they probably would. I don't know.
It's so simple to just switch it over, though. They really should. These companies, Bellroy for sure, should just switch it over. It's really isn't a big deal.
Right, but there's definitely some SEO implications there, and there've actually been quite a few articles recently that have spoken about drops in track. Google have said SSL is good for their algorithm, right? they, you know, they haven't explicitly said what the weight of that is in the algorithm and how that works.
Of course not. Yeah.
Hey, Rod, doing? Thanks for shopping by. That was a terrible joke. So basically, yeah. So we were chatting about SSL and like in terms of Google, right? So let's say Bellroy have worked pretty hard and they've got good organic traffic coming through. You know, they're ranking well in Google for all the sorts of random searches that they're looking for. Moving to SSL, I've seen quite a few articles recently where people have reported like a significant drop in traffic from losing all of that link equity and stuff like that happens when you 301 stuff. It might only be small, but basically I think someone like put up some kind of equation where they were talking about like loss of equity through like redirecting all of your non-SSL pages to your SSL versions,
right,
is greater than the value you get from Google for being SSL, right?
Right.
So that might change in the future, and I guess like that is a major consideration for an e-commerce site that's doing well.
I'm sure
without being fully SSL.
Yeah, I'm sure it is, but you know, like I would expect that the checkout process at least would be.
Yeah, it is, of course. Bellroy, as soon as you hit the checkout, it's a one-step checkout. You know what? This is cool. Bellroy even have their URL is bellroy.com/one-step checkout.
Yeah, I see that.
That's the URL. I like that.
Yeah, it's all on one page. It's nice.
Rod, I'm thinking of buying 2 GoPro Heroes 3 brand new for $225 each. Oh, wait, buying 2 GoPro Hero 3s. Right. Why, Rod, why do you want to buy 2? Why not buy 1 GoPro 4? Anyway, so Theo is asking about the domain. Theo, what do you mean about the domain? I'll let you jump in for a quick question. Theo, take a seat. So Theo wants to take a seat and ask a question. In the meantime, here he is.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was just saying, you know, you're talking about UX and UI and SEO and a lot of different aspects. So what about, you know, just the name of the site?
Right.
You know, what was that one funky? What was it? I like that name. Say that again.
The Funky Fairy.
Is it the Funky Fairy or just Funky Fairy Co. UK or what is it?
Yeah, it's the Funky Fairy. I'll paste it into the chat.
I mean, that's pretty cool. I can deal with that. But some names, I wonder what's going on with the idea of me, or what's their idea? I guess organic, it doesn't matter because I'm going to click from the search engine. I mean, I'm going to want a keyword, a generic, or I would go with the generic. I would say a generic would be cool. But I mean, I guess it depends on what you want to do.
Well, you know, like you've got a lot of the sort of, I don't know, I guess the smaller type, I wouldn't even call them brands, just people that like open up an e-commerce store. Generally, you'll see them go for handmadeleatherwallets.com, right? Or stuff like that, right? Like this generic stuff. And obviously back in the day, there would be some benefits to having like keywords in your domain name and stuff like that. And I'm sure even today you'll find people that argue a little bit about that still having value. But like, in my opinion, match domains that we used to call them aren't that valuable anymore.
Yeah, EMD.
Right?
EMD, exact
right?
match domain.
And you know, I like the idea of building a brand, right? And you know what? Everything Google is doing at the moment is moving towards brands, right? Whether that be big brands or brands that are smaller and up and coming, right? But if you pick a good name at the beginning, A, that name should resonate with your products, like away from the like online, and B, ideally you want a sort of brand name that people can remember, people can search for easily, and that essentially you can actually rank for pretty easily, right? You know, when you're picking a domain name, you really do want to go and search it first and see, like, you know, who's in the SERPs, who's in Google for that name. Has someone else bought a similar name that's in a different country?
You mean a brandable or for the keywords? I mean, if I was if I was thinking about Bellroy, let's say it didn't exist yet, I would see if anyone else is using something really similar if I search for it, like Bellroy-ish or something like that.
Right, exactly, right. And not only that, you'd probably want to look at are we frozen? I think
no, we're cool. We're cool. The chat is rolling. I'm rolling. I think we're cool.
All right, I've frozen. All of us are frozen for me. Hopefully this will skip through. So yeah, you really want to check the you know, you're not up against some serious competition just to rank for your own product name or brand name.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, it's pretty important. And a lot of people have made those mistakes before, right? Just buying a name and then being like, damn it, there's 5 other companies you name, and they're all super powerful and like have authority in Google's eyes already, and it's going to take us a long time to rank for our own name. Are you guys there?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm listening.
This is really annoying. My video is completely...
Yeah, you got choppy, but I could hear you fine, so that's cool. Yeah, I think that's cool. I was just thinking, you know, Amazon, okay, that's a pretty solid domain, but I guess when they were thinking, I mean, they flipped the meaning of the name Amazon. You know what I mean? They were thinking, and I was just thinking, where you were talking about trusting the site, you know, what kind of, I guess it depends on what I guess it depends on what you're selling. You know, I mean, there's a, what now?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just going to have to refresh and hopefully come back into this room. My whole screen's gone white. I can't see anything. I'm wondering if it's because I've got...
Okay, cool.
And whether that's...
Cool. Okay, let's see if that works.
All right. So it looks like we're still good.
Yeah, we're still good. Well, I was just thinking about how that intertwines with the other stuff you were saying, you know, about the... if it looks like a 1996 website, or if it looks new, I guess the domain and the name of the site plays a small part in that too. I don't know. I'm not sure what a 96 name would be, but yeah. I mean, yeah. That's just. I just want to throw it in the park. I mean, I come from the domainer side, and you know, we always see value in generics, but everyone is moving towards brandable now. And
yeah,
from a pure, right.
It's Google's moving towards brand. People know that EMDs don't really hold much weight in terms of organic anymore. So there's really no point of going for that unless, you know, it could tie into a brand name and help in search results as well. There was a time where EMDs, you could, you know, take the EMD and be up there in Google pretty easily. You know, doesn't matter if you're a brand or not, but these days, like Mark was saying, if the EMD, if the domain name doesn't match with your products or your brand, it doesn't really help you.
Well, yeah, of course not. Yeah,
if you do have that, then great. There's obviously no harm in using a key term that's valuable to you if it also ties in with the brand.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So what do you think about like 5-letter names, like made up words? You know, Bellroy, okay, Bellroy, it's 2 words that exist, but you know, I could make up like a fantasy name with 5 or 6 letters.
Yeah, if you can create a brand around it, then I don't see any issue with doing that. I think the hardest thing you'll find there is actually finding a domain available, a 5-letter domain available, especially for the .com, for the .coms, that will really resonate if you create a brand around it. As far as I know, a lot of them or most of them are taken for 3, 4, 5-letter domains.
Yeah, 4 are all taken. Not all 5 are taken, but yeah, you're right. there are patterns. It's like vowel, consonant, vowel, consonant, vowel, consonant. I think they're almost all taken, and there are a few other ones. But that's going to be the catchy ones. If Mark is back, then I don't know what he's doing. I don't want to veer off into domains too far because you guys were talking about other stuff. But that's fine.
We're just trying to talk about UX and what you would look for, and let's hear from you. What do you look for when going to a website in terms of usability and navigation through a site?
Well, I think what Mark said makes sense. I mean, if it's a site with a lot of things. Hey, I'm talking. Okay, sorry. If I got someone competing for attention here. Just a second. What I wanted to say is, I agree. If you got Luna, I'll just get off if it's too crazy. If you got a lot of stuff, you got to have a search because you can't find anything. I don't know how many items or how many categories. Like, I don't know, 25 items or 50 items. I don't know. You could think about at what point you need to make your search better because that's how a lot of people are going to do it. It's going to take, I guess people have a low attention span, but yeah, if I'm at Amazon or eBay, then I'm on the search, of course, definitely. Not so many clicks to the checkout. Reduce the clicks to the checkout. It's just too much. Don't try to upsell me too much. I'm not stupid. If you try to upsell me a lot, then I might get annoyed and leave. Maybe that's just.
Right. Oh. All right. Well, I don't know what happened to Theo there. But anyway, right. So do you know what? Let's move on a little bit, right?
Just before we do, a good thing about search and why I think it should be implemented at all times, if they can make it work, is that it's great insights into what people are actually looking for on your website.
Right. So you want to make sure you're capturing that data. Obviously
capturing the data, but yeah, it's vital information, to have to know where to go, where to optimize, where to add things, and if you think something is working but no one's looking for it, maybe it's not the way your customers or users are heading.
Right. So okay, that's definitely like a good point. It's a really good point, and I like that a lot, right? Because obviously, like you were saying, from that data, we can start to extract what they're looking for. We can maybe tailor our homepage to be more focused on the maximum amount of searches that are going on, and yeah, just generally optimize the site a bit better for the customer. Let's talk about product pages, right?
Yeah.
What do you like about it? What's a good product page for you, right? Like, how's that defined? Like, how's that split up? You've obviously got images. Let's start with
images. Well, online it's all about images, and I think for any product you're buying, it needs to have good images. You need to know what you're buying, and the easiest way to get that across is through images. And it shouldn't just be one image of the front of the product you're buying. You should have multiple images showing different sides of the thing, whether it's an item of clothing, whether it's a piece of technology, whether it's a wallet. You should see the various angles as you would if you went to a store and picked it up.
So do you know what, this obviously that's pretty standard for the better type stores, right? They have multiple images, they have zoom functionality. That's cool, and that's good. One thing that Bellroy do really well, which is like also what ASOS did, is they have like product videos, like in that place where you would normally see the product, it's a video. The one thing I don't like about Bellroy the last time I looked at it was that it's got a sort of autoplay.
Right.
It does give you a chance to turn that off. Like when you land, it kind of has a countdown timer and says stop.
Right.
Before it plays, of about 5 or 10 seconds. I can't remember. But I do. If you actually watch their product videos, they do a really good job of sort of presenting their product to you through video.
Yeah, it's nice. I'm watching one right now. It's very nicely done. Kind of stop motion video of how it would look when your money and credit cards are inside. which is really nice. And they also have, quite a few pictures. They have 8 pictures of the product as well, showing the different compartments and elements of it. But the video is great. It has the colors that it's available in, the price, the features, how many credit cards it can hold, how many slots there are, things like that. And then it has other information like the leather they use, delivery, warranty. I think all those elements are important.
Because the cool thing about their videos are that they don't just play a video, they actually put some text next to it, so they actually explain parts of the product to you in the video. And I think that's really nice. And it's also really nice that it's not, I don't think it's talking. It's not, they only have music. So it's kind of cool. So even if someone like myself right now, I'm watching it without sound, I can still get all of the elements to this wallet, all of the benefits. And you're right. It's really nicely put together. And you're right. And they've still got the images and all that, all that jazz at the bottom underneath that. So yeah, Bellroy for me this is probably one of the best shopping pages I've seen in terms of at least like the image area. Right?
Yeah, it's certainly one of the better ones.
Like it even shows you the sort of packaging it's going to come in when it gets delivered to you, from what I can see. So yeah, these guys have really done well. And if I scroll down, I like the little graphics. They've got a little explanation about the product. It's pretty maybe just maybe the sort of, if you scroll down, maybe there's a bit too much information there.
In which section?
If you scroll, like you finish watching the video, right, and you actually scroll down, you can actually scroll for quite a while and be taken away from the purchase point.
Right. Well, I mean, they've got the video part, then they've got the styling, the security bit, and then they've got like testimonial type things.
Oh, you see, my one's different. I haven't got any testimonials or anything like that. I'm on this URL.
It's insights. It's not. They have like one write up from the Men's Journal, and then insights into.
I do like they've got their little drop down, our leathers, delivery information, and warranty information. They do.
So I didn't get the countdown on the video, but I just stopped it right away.
Right, yeah, that actually seems to have gone. It was there the other day when I looked at it.
Right.
Really interestingly, if you click on warranty, right?
Yeah.
It drops down with a little bit of information. There's got like view more information. I don't like the way that actually takes me away from the page that I'm on.
Right.
I really feel like that would be nicer in some kind of pop-up, but that's just my opinion. I haven't split tested that or anything.
Yeah.
But it takes me away from the product, and I kind of have to click back to get back to the product I was on.
Yeah.
When I'm in that mindset of this is the product I'm interested in, I'm considering adding it to the cart, and now I'm kind of on a different part of the website, But yeah, it's cool. What happens if I change the colors? Right, it does. All the images change. That's really nice as well. All of the pictures change to become that color. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's nice.
And they haven't done it via like some sort of CGI type thing. It's like they're the real wallets.
Yeah.
Which is good. They've made a lot of effort there. So that's cool. Now let's click the. You'll notice like their share functionality is grayed out and pretty small.
Yeah.
Which I guess I can respect that. Like they want you to focus on buying the product, not sharing it at this point.
Yeah.
It's there if you need it.
Yeah, it's probably if they have some sort of blog, then they'll probably have more sharing on there. But I don't know if they even do have a blog.
I guess then I click add to cart. It's a bit slow. It's a bit slow for me, like that add to cart functionality. I almost feel like it hasn't worked for a few seconds.
Yeah, it was a little bit slow when I added it. It's got this little the owl,
yeah,
kind of like tapping its foot.
Yeah, I didn't notice it moving actually.
It does take a little bit. Does take a little bit of time. I'm not sure why. It should be a pretty quick process, really.
Whatever. Then the cart bit on the page is quite nice. Like it shows me everything I've got in the cart and the subtotal, and a proceed to checkout. That proceed to checkout could be a little more in my face, I feel, without being ugly.
Yeah, it's the at least the checkout process part of it is done through Magento. I recognize it, but it's also a little bit slow in loading.
Yeah, I can see.
But in any case.
But it is quite nice. Like the review your order section, it's a one-page checkout, right?
I do like the one-page checkout. You got options. You've got credit card, Bitcoin, and PayPal.
There is a bit of discussion here though. Like it's interesting, and one-page checkouts are nice, but this Bellroy one, I don't know whether it's me. I'm trying to decide whether it feels a little busy. Do you get what I mean?
I see where you're coming from, but
I prefer that whole step one, putting your billing information. I do that. Step two. One thing I do notice here, it doesn't let me check out as a guest.
Right.
Then again, maybe this is a guest checkout and you decide whether you want to sign up afterwards. It probably is.
Yeah, I actually didn't notice if there was a login section.
I don't think there is, which is actually very cool if there isn't.
No, there isn't a login as far as I can see. There's no login for the site.
You know, they're being realistic, right? How often are you going to return to Bellroy to buy a wallet?
Right. Yeah, I think it also says something about the brand because they do say I think it's a 3-year warranty on them.
Right.
So they feel that it's going to last at least 3 years, and so they wouldn't really need to market to someone again for 3 years.
Yeah.
Unless they're trying to get them to buy them as a gift.
Right. So on this checkout page, top right, they do have those sort of grayed out icons: 3-year warranty, global delivery, secure payment. Right.
Yeah.
Part of me feels like those could be a little bit more standout-ish.
On the site itself.
I'm in that position where I haven't quite filled out my details and decided I'm 100% going to buy it. And we all know this is the page where quite a few people drop out from.
Yeah.
By the way, you can pay with Bitcoin, which is cool.
Yeah. Bitcoin and PayPal.
Bitcoin and PayPal, or just regular credit card. But yeah, I do feel like those what's the word I'm looking for here? Those benefits should stand out a little bit more in my opinion, right? Because I almost missed them, to be honest with you. Because I was just sort of staring at the express checkout area. I wasn't really looking at that top grayed out area. Obviously, one thing they do, which a lot of people forget, is they have nicely removed the top navigation.
Yeah.
So I am now in the checkout. I'm in the funnel. I can click back to continue shopping, but I can't navigate through all their menus and try and look up the wallets and stuff.
Yeah. You want to try and keep the focus of the user on the checkout, which might be a reason why they didn't make the 3-year warranty global delivery stand out a bit more. Because if they did, it might put the user's focus on the continue shopping, or even moving out away from the site if they had it in a different position on the page. Maybe, I don't know, but I'm sure that they've done some sort of testing with it. They don't seem like the type of company to just do stuff.
Yeah, one thing they don't have here is they don't tell me who the site's secured with. There is maybe a reasoning, so they could have a little logo or icon below the checkout button, like the place order button, just reinforcing again that this purchase is secure via whoever they've secured it with.
Right. Well, they use something called, I've never actually heard of it, but they use something called Telium, which is a tag-based tag management and real-time customer data.
Right.
For their site. And they also use Inspectlet, which is the heat map stuff. So they are definitely looking around, looking at their users, what they're doing, and analyzing that.
Yeah. So that's cool. So this checkout process is pretty simple. They've cut out the navigation on the checkout process, which we like. I didn't actually see, if I actually go to the cart, have they removed the navigation on the cart as well? I didn't pay attention to that. I'm just going back.
What do you mean on the cart?
Oh, there actually isn't a cart. It's just a one.
So one step. So this is it.
Yeah, I really like that. I really, really like that. These guys are very good.
Yeah, and it also remembered that I clicked PayPal Express. I went back to the store and I came back to the checkout, and it remembered that PayPal had been selected, so it didn't go back to the original credit card selection, which was default. So yeah, they have a small on newsletters. Sign up for the newsletter.
Yeah.
But aside from that, it's a basic, very basic, easy to use checkout.
Listen, they're smart, right? Like all of the additional stuff, FAQs, worldwide delivery, 3-year warranty, all of that stuff is there, but it's all in the footer. The whole site is based around pushing you through that process.
Yeah.
And I really like that. Yeah, and obviously they have some great content on here as well under their stories.
Yeah, my favorite page is the Slim Your Wallet page. It's just fantastic.
Yeah, it really is a great page.
I remember this page from when we first heard about Bellroy, when we were checking them out.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great page.
Yeah, I actually followed some of their tips, and it works.
Right. Yeah, and that's another thing I like about them. That although obviously they want to sell you their product, they give you tips for your standard wallet that you have without them, which it's a nice addition.
Interestingly, at the bottom, they do have a link to something called Carryology.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting. I'm not quite sure that it's the only thing on the whole site that I'm not sure why they link to that. It probably is connected to them, obviously.
Yeah, I clicked through. It says supported by Bellroy at the top.
Right.
Yeah, it's probably one of their companies. It's probably,
I guess it's the only thing. I presume they only link to that from the stories sections.
Right.
But it's the one thing on this side that's a bit, I don't know. It's the only thing that sort of takes me away from the whole experience.
Yeah.
Let's just go and have a little look. I'm just going to go and have a look at their customer care, shipping and delivery. The one thing that doesn't, we've got this leave us a message, right? So they normally currently says they've got no agents online right now, which means they do have online assistance.
Online chat type thing.
Yeah, which is cool. At the bottom, I suppose it's got a question, support@bellroy.com, with just like a Malto link. Because other than that, there isn't really like a contact us page. There isn't really I have customer care, but when I click on that, it's not really. They do have a contact us page. Let me click on that. Also, they do have a contact us page, but you need to go through. I can't see it in the footer. I can't see it anywhere in the footer. You have to go through customer care to get there.
Right.
It's good. It's a dope site. And we've been on here for about an hour, so we're probably going to wrap this bad boy up. A bit annoying that I cut off because we had a few more people in here before that. But it is what it is. I'm going to put it into the recording. I've never had my computer frozen me like that.
Interesting that they have resellers in Israel out here.
Yeah, they get worldwide.
It's pretty cool.
All right, man. So let's stop this recording.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
I just want to say thank you, Wellens.
No worries, anytime.
Internet strategies.
Good chat.
Yeah, man. Hopefully, we'll build a few of these up. We've got we're going to be doing a few of these. We've got a number of topics we're going to discuss. One was just a little bit off the cuff discussion, but we've got a few coming up that are going to be a bit more planned out. Hopefully, we'll schedule them, get a few more people in to view. I'm presuming Sunday at this time is a very quiet time on Blab, because most of America are sort of just waking up or in the middle of their morning on a Sunday. So yeah, we were just a bit bored and wanted to do a Blab. So this was it. All right, man. Cheers, Gideon.
No worries. Have a good one. Speak to you soon.
I will chat to you soon.